My name is Raj from Group 1, and I would be speaking on the mathematic component of my group's presentation. The NIDOC theme of our group is always was, always will be. We would start the class with an acknowledgement to the local people or to the traditional owner of the land where this lesson would be taught. Along with the acknowledgement, we would also be linking the NIDOC theme, which is always was, always will be. This is a mathematics stage 6 lesson, and I would be presenting my lesson on rates and ratios. The reason I chose this lesson is because knowledge of measurement enables an understanding of basic daily situations involving rates, ratios, such as speed, growth, decline, and interpretation of maps and plans. Study of measurement is an important tool in developing students' ability to solve problems related to two-dimensional and three-dimensional models and representation, and it also assists in an effective working with a variety of rates and ratios. In this class, I would be explaining the concept of rates and ratios, and the students would be encouraged after they have learned the basic concept. We would be providing them the data provided to us by the Australian Bureau of Statistics, and in that data they would be able to see what's the total population of Australia, how many Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island people are there in the country, and what's their ratio in comparison to the non-Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island people. They would also be seeing how the growth or the decline has happened in the population of the indigenous people since the last census, and for our reference we'll be taking the two censuses, one from 2011 and the other one from 2016. So that way they can compare the two datas and they'll be able to see if the population has increased or it has decreased or it is it's not grown or it has not changed at all. So before even we provide any data that from the Australian Bureau of Statistics to the students, I would be discussing in the classroom on the basic concept of a ratio. What exactly is a ratio? A ratio is nothing but it is the relative size of two or more values. That is very evident from the small little example I have given here on the slide. In the slide you can see on one bowl there are 8 apples, and on the other bowl we have 6 oranges. Now if we in easy terms, if we say what's a ratio between the two, so we'll say 8 is to 6, but since they're both divisible by 2, so then the ratio becomes 4 is to 3. So once the student have understood the concept, then we'll be providing them the data, and then they can infer, they can have a look at it, and they can see if the population of Aboriginal people have increased or decreased over the last couple of years. The other concept that goes hand in hand with the ratio is the rate. Rate is again nothing. Basically the rate is the percentage change or the change in percentage from one period to another. For example, again in one bowl I had 3 apples and then I added 3 more apples to it. So basically it is an increase of 100%. Again, this is a concept. I'll make sure that before I proceed any further, the class has totally understood. So how did we arrive at that 66%? So the formula is easy. What we do is we look at the value at the present. So at the moment the value is 1. And then we look at the value of the past, which was 3 in this case. And then we divide it by the value of past, which was 3. So that makes it 1 minus 3, that is negative 2 divided by 3. And then since we are looking at the rate is always expressed in percentage. So then we have to multiply it by 100. So the value comes out is going to be a decrease or a decline or a negative 66%. Now since the class has understood the concept of ratios and rates, so I'll be dividing the class in two groups. One group would be working on the ratios. Ratios basically comparing the population of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island people versus the non-Aboriginal people. The other group is going to work on the rates, which is going to be the rate of growth or the rate of decline in the population of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island people. So in summary, the class would be able to see that since 1770, the population of Australia, the indigenous people, has decreased from 100% to a meager 3%. That's a decline of 97%. That is in stark contrast to an increase of 600% increase in the population of the entire world. So now since the class has totally understood the concept of ratios and rates, I would be encouraging the students to discuss amongst themselves the data that I have provided to them from Australian Bureau of Statistics and discuss the growth or the decline in the population, the rate of growth or decline, also the ratio of the indigenous versus the non-indigenous people. At the end of the classroom, I will be providing them the references where all this information has been procured. The main reference would be the data that I have procured from the Australian Bureau of Statistics, where it gives the numbers that were collected in the census of 2011 and 2016.